Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. One of the biggest gardening myths during the summer is that once the heat arrives, you have to stop planting. Oh my goodness, that could not be further from the truth. Now, of course, here in North Carolina, a Zone 8A, are we going to plant everything at the end of July? No, we're not. But that does not mean that there are not certain plants out there that absolutely thrive and love this crazy hot, humid weather that we are having. So today I am planting an annual and a shrub that thrive in these conditions. So if your summer gardens are looking a little rough from your spring plantings after that crazy heat dome, stay tuned because I have got some inspiration for you that you can get in the garden, and your pollinators are going to love these plants. First up, we are going to add this fantastic, relatively new annual from Proven Winners. Y'all, this is the Superlophus Sunglow. This is a Texas Primrose. Look at those beautiful cherry yellow flowers. This is, like I said, a new one from Proven Winners. We have moved them up to a 1 gallon. These were grandes, moved them up, and absolutely gorgeous. Now, your Superlophus, it's going to be a short one, 4 to 8 inches tall, thrives in the heat and the humidity, drought tolerant once established. The pollinators love this plant. I had to kind of shoo off some of the bumblebees when I was pulling them in to put into the buggy. Now, this is going to be an annual in zones 8 and above. So it can be a perennial in zone 8A to 10. Of course, I am an 8A, so it is right on the border. I will say that last year, I let Mimi have a couple of these, like I gave some of them to her, and she put them in her butterfly garden, and they came back this spring. So there is great hope for that they could be a perennial for you if you are in zones 8 to 10 in those warm zones. So where are we going to put it, and why am I putting it in my garden here in the end of July? Well, like I said, loves the heat. It's a Texas Primrose. All I need to say is Texas, right? And then there you go. Y'all, oh my gosh, my friends in Texas, you know heat, right? And so a Texas Primrose is going to do great. This is one of those plants that absolutely gets overlooked in the spring because it's not hot. It's kind of like a lantana, right? Or the Blew My Mind Evolvulus. When those early spring garden trips that you take, these are not going to be ones that you're like, oh my gosh, I got to have it, because it's not hot enough. Now that we're in July, they are stunning. So we are going to add them to the front of this bed. Of course, that's at the entrance. Right here at the culvert going to the garden center. We had some lobelia here in the spring. Lobelia does great for us in the spring, early summer. It was that lovely, beautiful blue, kind of mimicked that evolvulus that's there to the right. But with the heat dome, it did not like those hot temperatures, and so we pulled it out. So I have a nice little open spot right here in front of we have diamond frost. And then y'all, little side note, this is a freebie for you. This is the new coleus for next year. So this is a 2027 introduction. This is Color Blaze Pepper Flakes. Look at that. Is that not magnificent? That like red orange with those yellow specks in it. It is going to be perfect having the Superlophus here in front. You can see that we do have a row of drip irrigation. So what I'm going to do is just kind of space them out through here. I am going to kind of stay away from the edge of the grass, so that way when we cut the grass, we're not cutting the Superlophus. I am going to be using, of course, the Jenny's Edition, the 9-inch auger, this is the 7-inch auger, perfect for those 1 gallons, and then using my biotone. Now, if you have those spring annuals, early summer annuals, they are thriving and they are looking sad and tired, this is a great option to add to the garden because it is going to go all the way through. It can handle the heat and humidity. Now, of course, any new planting that you do in July with the heat, The first couple of weeks, you're gonna have to keep an eye on it, my friends. This is not a complete plant and walk away. If you can time it, like fingers crossed I am today, we are supposed to get rain showers late this afternoon tonight, so yay for that. I do have drip irrigation, so I can run that in the meantime and keep an eye on it and help keep it watered. And then the next couple of days, the temperature is supposed to go down a bit. So the heat index this afternoon is 105, but then we hit that cool front because the rain comes in and we go back down into like the upper 80s. It'll be great for this, get those roots established. Once your roots are established, man, you are good to go. So without further ado, we're gonna get these cutie patootie Superlophuses in the ground. Y'all, I tell you, it is a cloudy day, but I am already glistening and showing off my summer accessory, which is those glistening beads. But let me tell you, does this not make an instant impact already? Right here, those 1 gallon Superlophus in the ground, and I have no doubt that they are going to be unbelievable. I see a little friend, so we're going to see if we can sneak up on him here. That's on the pepper flakes. I heard a long time ago that if you have frogs and lizards rather, in your garden, then that means that you have a very healthy garden. Can you see that sweet little baby anole right there? It's either a anole or a skink, I'm not sure, but oh, there he goes. But he is young and enjoying this garden, so that makes me very happy knowing that we have a healthy garden here. And so it just is a great impact with those sweet babies right here. Now, I went ahead and before I placed down the Superlophus, I turned on the irrigation. We have our irrigation that it is controlled by an app, and so hydro-wise, so that way no matter where we are, we can turn on the irrigation. That just kind of helped me know where those emitters are, so I didn't have to search for them so much, and so that they could go ahead and be getting some water. The soil was already nice and moist, so that was fantastic. Of course, the plants, they were well watered, and so putting those plants in when their root ball is wet, the soil is moist, and then hopefully, like I said, we're going to get some rain this afternoon and a little bit cooler temperatures. Then that just helps everybody settle in and get those roots. As I say, once they find their feet, my goodness, then you're not going to need irrigation. Obviously, you don't have to have irrigation, but that just means that you would have to come out, I would say, like once a day and water them until those roots start going out and finding their feet, and then you should be good to go. So we've got the annuals in the ground. Now we're going to head over to the other side of the berm and get some shrubs in. Butterfly bushes. Butterfly bushes love this kind of weather. butterfly bushes, buddleias, absolutely thrive in the heat and the humidity of summer. This is when they are hitting their stride. If you remember, we were just doing a nursery tour over there at the garden center, and I was showing you how the butterfly bushes are covered in flowers and butterflies. We love butterfly bushes. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Today, what I'm going to be adding are 3 of the Li'l Taffy Butterfly Candy Buddleias. Now, the reason that I'm adding Li'l Taffy is, 1, nice and petite, 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. This is going to go in front of the white wedding hydrangeas that we added to the berm probably about a month ago now, so 2 to 3 feet tall. I love the nice soft pink of Li'l Taffy because it's really going to go with my palette here. I have red hibiscus, so if I did like raspberry with the hot pink and red, you could do it, but I wanted to go with taffy being that lighter color. Now, I don't deal with deer. I have rabbits and raccoons, but I don't have deer. But buddleias are generally considered to be deer resistant, deer proof. So there is that. Also, if you deal with areas where butterfly bushes can set seed and replenish your garden with lots of butterfly bushes, the butterfly candy buddleias are considered to be sterile. They have not shown to set any kind of seed. So that is why I am choosing the Li'l Taffy. Now, just as a full disclosure, these Li'l Taffies have been hanging out up at the chicken coop in a more shaded area until I was ready to plant them. Therefore, they are not in full bloom because they have not been in their optimal growing conditions with the full sun. But you can see that we've got some little blooms right here, and we have got buds, beautiful new growth on these babies. So that is just why they are not in full bloom. If your butterfly bushes are not blooming, some ways to kind of troubleshoot that. First and foremost, are you like me? Do they not get enough sun? At a minimum, your butterfly bushes should get like 5 to 6 hours, preferably 6 hours or more of daily sunlight. 2, because your buddleias bloom on new growth, you need to prune them every late winter, right when you first start to see some leaves pop out. We want to shear it and give it a good hard prune. Encourages all that beautiful new growth, which then encourages all the flowers. So are you pruning your buddleias once a year? So those would be my 2 main things. If you've got beautiful green foliage but no flowers, those are probably the 2 main culprits. So what we're going to do, like I said, is just pop these babies in here. We're going to have 3 of them just for some fun pops of color, and of course to bring in the butterflies. right, my friends, there we go. Li'l Taffy is in the ground. Now, you will notice that I did go ahead and put the umbrellas on top of the butterfly bushes. That is because these butterfly bushes have been in a shadier location, like I was telling you earlier, and it's supposed to be pretty warm today. Now, however, can you see the trees moving? We actually have a breeze and the clouds. It is glorious. Now, when you are planting in July, or you're planting in those hot summer months, it does not hurt. In fact, it helps the plant to go ahead and if you have these little plant umbrellas, yeah, I just got them off of Amazon. Just go to Amazon, type in for the search bar plant umbrellas, and boom, there you go. I got like a 6-pack for $29. I love them. And the great thing is too is that they're made for plants. They're UV protected. Underneath they have a silver lining, and they're adjustable. So there's 3 different sizes that you can set the umbrella at. And so I had it at the tallest, and it was a little too tall, so I took one of the links out and brought it down. Because this way the butterfly bush is not going to be in complete and total shade. So where I'm standing, that they will get morning sun, and then they'll get a break as the sun comes up over on top of them, and then maybe they'll get a little bit in the afternoon. It just gives them a little rest from the intense July, August sun. And so while I am waiting for their roots to get established, I am going to keep the umbrellas on them. You will remember probably that I use these same cute little umbrellas on my white wedding hydrangeas, because we really were skirting the planting time for these guys as far as putting them in the ground, because hydrangeas typically are not going to be those plants that you want to plant in the heat of the summer. So I used the umbrellas to give them a break. So for example, Cece and I were just talking because she's over here working as well. So you can see like there's new growth on them. They're popping out. Yes, they took a little hit. They were a little thin, but they are showing us new growth. That nice bright green that you see on the leaves, all of that is new growth. And in fact, up here on this one that was really kind of struggling, look, we have a new flower and we have a new bud. So Cece and I were saying that it was a little touch and go there for a little bit with these guys. But as I say, they have found their feet and they are happy. So I feel like we have passed the mark of like, you know, trembling in, are they going to make it? I have no doubt now that they're going to make it. The butterfly bushes, same thing. Keep an eye on them for the first couple of weeks, maybe it's a month when you're adding these shrubs to the full sun. But those butterfly bushes love the heat. Also, keep this in mind as a little tidbit when you're planting buddleias. Doesn't matter what kind of buddleia it is, they hate to have wet feet. Now, I planted these little taffies pretty much level with the soil because we are on a slope. This berm, obviously as a berm is raised up, and there is quite a slope to this bed, if the camera can show it. So I have no fear that these guys are going to sit in water over, especially thinking about the winter time. If you have your butterfly bushes in kind of a flat or low-lying area, you're gonna want to plant them with the root ball sticking up about an inch, especially if you have thick clay soil. If you have really sandy soil and your soil drains really well, then you could probably not have to plant them as high. This is why I say it's important to be a student of your own garden, because all of our gardens are very different. But the one thing that stays the same, butterfly bushes hate wet feet. So think about it, your garden, that spot, your climate, your rainy season, what does that look like, your soil, and make the best judgment for you in your garden with your butterfly bushes. But I am so excited to watch these babies grow. Right now, of course, it may look a little thin because the shrubs, I think they were all like 1 or 2 gallon sizes, and you know, they've got some growing to do, but that is okay. Gardening teaches us patience, and it is going to be beautiful with the little taffies, the white weddings. We have the night lights Camariciferous. That's that nice bright kind of that chartreuse evergreen back there. And then we have got some October Magic, I believe it's orchid. We have camellias back there in the back, so for some nice evergreen. So it is going to be fun to watch these grow and develop. So you absolutely can plant in July. You absolutely can plant in August. You think about not focused on the calendar, but think about the plant. Plants that love the heat, that thrive in the heat and humidity. you can absolutely plant them right now, and this is a great way to extend that seasonal interest of your garden. Let's give our gardens 4 seasons of interest. So thinking about when other plants are sad and tired like the gardeners in late July and August, there are plants that will absolutely thrive. So let's add them now, because your future self will thank your present self for doing that. As always, we hope you found it fun, informative, and inspirational. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.